If you gave the average person $100, sent them into an outdoor store and said buy 5 things to prepare for a summer camping trip, probably 90% of them are going to buy the 5 items I'm about to list. But these 5 items I virtually never bring on canoe trips anymore. I know how the internet works, and I know that people love to fly off the handle when someone has a different opinion than theirs. So let me just start by saying that this is my opinion for my usage scenario in the area that I live in, which is Northern Ontario in the Boreal Forest. I'm not saying that any of these 5 items are wrong. I'm just saying that after hundreds of days of backcountry camping, I don't use these. Let's start this off nice and friendly with I think one we can all agree upon, a flashlight. Not a good tool compared to a headlamp. A headlamp just goes around your head and frees up your hands. It points wherever you're looking. It's way better than a flashlight. Once I went camping with a couple of friends who had headlamps, I never brought a flashlight again. Item number 2 is really a collection of fire making tools like Firesteel and matches, waterproof match kits. Never bring them. I'm just a Bic man. I love a good old Bic. It just does the job. It's so functional, ubiquitous. You find it anywhere. People sometimes think of Firesteel as like a survival tool, but it's not at all. You buy it from a store the same as a Bic. If you have rock that you can find that will make a spark with steel, that is a survival skill. A friction fire is a survivor skill, but this is more of a parlor trick and for fun. I'm not trying to knock it, I'm just saying that it's for fun. If you just enjoy doing it, the act of this primitive fire making, that is totally cool. I'm not trying to put you down. Now here's where things might get more controversial. A pocket knife, a belt knife, I don't bring one, ever. I don't have a use for it. If I need a knife, the only knife I need there is a filleting knife to clean fish. And if I'm eating something that needs a sharp knife, like a steak, I can just use the filleting knife. So that serves dual purposes there. This kind of knife, I don't need it at all. And I would include multi-tools in that as well. If you're going on a really long expedition, say 2 weeks or longer, you might want a multi-tool because you never know what you might run into, but I've never needed one, so I don't bring it. Erin, my partner, she sometimes brings a pocket knife because she just enjoys it. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, similar to the Firesteel, if you just enjoy it, if you derive pleasure from it, great. I don't. It's just something else I can leave behind and save weight. On the same thread, a hatchet and an axe, actually. I don't bring one on summer camping trips. I do bring it in the winter when I need to split wood for the wood stove. Absolutely. Invaluable. In the summer, I don't need it at all. I would way rather have these saws. This is the Boreal 24 folding saw and a Silky Gomboy folding saw. Those are invaluable to me for clearing trail, for canoe trips on portages, or preparing my firewood. In the Boreal Forest, there's so much firewood. That's the other thing with the lighters. Like, the Boreal Forest is a tinderbox. You've got birch bark everywhere, you've got softwood all around you, dead branches. It's so easy to start fires. It really doesn't have to be complicated. And for the same reason, I'm not dealing with much hardwood at all here, so I don't need split wood. It's just, it's a risk. And everyone says, oh, I'm not going to cut myself. It can happen. You've probably seen it, you know someone it's happened to, you've watched it on YouTube. These things happen, and if you're alone out in the middle of nowhere, you can deliver a fatal blow to yourself. If you hit a serious artery in your leg, that could be it. So it's a weight savings, it's functional, it just lacks function for me out there, and it's a safety issue. The 5th item is DEET-based bug spray. I never use it. Never ever. And we have a lot of bugs here in Northern Ontario. Tons of black flies and mosquitoes. Early summer, just swarming with them. How I get around it is just with clothing. I wear long pants, long nylon or synthetic pants, nylon or polyester, and then a long sleeve shirt. Keeps the bugs off of my skin, and if they're really bad, then I have this bug jacket. This portage is horrendous. Black flies are at maximum level almost. And I also really like a wide-brimmed hat because often the worst thing about bugs is they're pelting around your ears. You know, the mosquito dancing around your earlobe is the worst. It's such an aggravating sound. And this really, they kind of pelt off of the hat. So it's really nice. Aside from being nice in the sun, keeps sun off your face and your head, and in the rain, and yeah, it deflects the bugs in the same way. So that is how I go without bug spray. And as a sixth bonus item, I can't say I never use a gas canister and burner. Last fall I did on a longer trip, but only because it was really wet and cold, like around freezing and raining every day almost. It was just an enjoyment thing. But like I said, in the boreal forest there's so much firewood, so much tinder, that it's really not necessary. I cook on open fires or on a stick stove for almost all of my new meals. So I can't say I never use this, but just about never. I also don't like gas cans. It's not the fossil fuels being burnt in the gas can. Like, that's such a trivial amount of fossil fuels compared to everything else that we use in our society. It's just the can itself. Those aren't always recyclable or not recycled by the user or the facility where they're dropped off. A lot can happen. You know, it seems like a perfect system of it being recycled and reused. That often doesn't happen. And one last thing that we never use are these foot and hand warmers. It's just landfill, you know, like for such a short use. Instead of buying a box of these, invest in a good pair of wool socks, good boots, good mittens. These are just a waste. The actual contents aren't that bad. I think it's mostly iron, but still the packaging and all that. If you're out there enjoying nature, you gotta try and take care of it. So things like that I try and leave behind. That's it. These are just my opinions again. Be interested to hear what you think about these items, and if there are any other items that are essential that you think are just a waste of space.